Close your eyes and think back. Do you remember the last time you saw a hedgehog in your garden? Not a photo, not on television. A real, living hedgehog, snuffling through the leaves on a summer evening.
For many of us, it's been years. For some, decades. And for an entire generation of British children.
They're not extinct. Not yet. But they're vanishing. And most of us didn't even notice it happening.
This is the story of Britain's hedgehogs. A story of loss, survival, and hope. And it began.
There was a time, not that long ago, when hedgehogs were everywhere in Britain. In the 1950s, there were 30 million. In gardens, parks, hedgerows and woodlands. You couldn't take an evening walk without hearing their... They were part of childhood, part of the rhythm of British life. Children grew up knowing... They were woven into the fabric of British nature. Then, quietly, they started to disappear. By the year 2000, the population had dropped to around 1.5 million. By 2020, fewer than 1 million.
Scientists call this shifting baseline syndrome. Each generation grows up thinking the nature they see is normal.
Your grandparents saw hedgehogs every week. Your parents saw them occasionally. You might see one once a year if you're lucky.
And your children? They might never see one at all. Unless something changes.
Britain has built hundreds of thousands of miles of new roads since the 1950s.
Since the 1950s, Britain has lost 97% of its wildflower meadows.
The thick gardens have been paved over for parking spaces. Every year, Britain loses more green space to concrete.
The slugs and insects that hedgehogs eat are being poisoned. Not directly killing the hedgehogs, but starving.
Hedgehogs hide in long grass and under bushes during the day. When someone trims the edges or mows without...
Hedgehogs love to nest in piles of leaves and wood, exactly what we stack up for garden fires.
It's not everything. It's the way we breed with no thought, Britons.
You might think, well, they're just hedgehogs. Does it really matter? But here's the thing. Hedgehogs are what ecologists...
And when the insects go, the birds follow, then the small mammals, then everything else up the food chain. But beyond the science, there's something deeper. Hedgehogs are part of British identity. They appear in our... The hedgehog represents the gentle, endearing side of British wildlife. Losing them isn't just that Britain is still possible. These creatures that have been here for 15 million years, that are woven into our culture,
But here's the good news. Hedgehogs can come back. We know this because it's already happening in places where people take action.
And it works. Within months, hedgehogs return. They move freely, find mates, build populations.
Conservation groups are working with councils to create wildlife corridors, green spaces that connect parks and gardens.
Some areas have banned certain pesticides, and gardens are rewilding, letting grass grow longer. There's a groundswell of people who care. Hedgehog rescue centers are overwhelmed with volunteers.
Social media is full of delighted homeowners sharing videos of hedgehogs visiting their gardens for the first time in years.
There it is, look.
But it needs to spread faster. The story of British hedgehogs doesn't have you end in silence.
If you have a garden, any garden, no matter how small it,
you can help. Make a hedgehog highway. Cut a small hole in your fence, 13 centimeters square, about the size of a CD case. Don't tidy everything. Stop using pesticides, slug pellets, weed killer, all of it. Yes, you'll have more slugs. Check before you trim or mow. Take 30 seconds to poke the long grass with a stick. Check under bushes. Drive carefully at night, especially in spring and summer when hedgehogs are most active. If you see one on the road,
spread the word, talk to your neighbours, share information. The more people who make their gardens hedgehog friendly, the bigger the network becomes.
one garden won't save the species, but 1 million gardens might.
The story of British hedgehogs doesn't have to end in silence. Right now, across
Every hedgehog you see is a small miracle, a representative of a species.
We brought them to the brink, but we can bring them back. Your garden could be part of that comeback.
All it takes is a small hole in a fence, a wild corner, and a little bit of care.
And maybe, just maybe, the next generation will grow up in a Britain where hedgehogs are everywhere again.
Where that distinctive snuffling sound is as common as birdsong.
Where that distinctive snuffling sound is as common as birdsong.
That Britain is still possible, but only if we choose it.
And maybe, just maybe, the next generation will grow up in a Britain where hedgehogs are everywhere again.
Subscribe to Wild Britain Stories for more wildlife documentaries. Together, we can bring them back.